Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our Friday night SmackDown reaction here in the World Wide Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for joining this evening. Hope everybody out there's having a good evening tonight. Looks like we got us a nice show this evening. We actually have a Grayson Waller effect tonight with Braun Strowman. Let's see. I'm waiting to see what's going down with that. It's been a while since Braun Strowman's been around. Sean, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us once again. Yeah, we have Naomi helping out Bianca Belair tonight, defend the tag team titles against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. One half of the tag team champions, Johnny Gargano, will be going up against Alex Shelley. That should be fun. And once again, I mentioned Grayson Waller effect tonight with Braun Strowman. That's going to be cool. Thank you for joining us this evening. How did everyone think? What did everyone think of Saturday Night Main Event? I personally thought it was pretty cool for what it was. I think me and Connor we discussed it. But yeah, I am your boy, Mr. Jacobs, the 5-star man himself. Connor is out tonight. He is doing some family stuff for the holidays. We wish him well. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to all of you watching along with me this evening. And join us tomorrow night for the Pod Champs. That's going to be a fun episode. We actually have on the next Pod Champs, the topic's going to be the history of midget wrestling. That's going to be the next topic. Which is something I enjoy. I actually know some men and women that are in midget wrestling, so it's going to be fun to talk about. Wish we can get some interviews with some of the superstars out there that do midget wrestling. Or little people wrestling, however you want to put it. But yeah, it should be fun. Join us tomorrow evening as well for the Pod Champs. But yeah, I thought Saturday Night Main Event was pretty fun. My personal, I think for me, my personal favorite moment was Cody coming out with the winged eagle. That was probably my favorite design of the title ever. Because when that title came out, that's when I first started watching wrestling. When that title first came out, and that was like 90. At the time, Hulk Hogan was the first one to hold that title. At least that design of that title, the winged eagle, and then I think Bret Hart also held it. Yokozuna held it. I mean, it has a lot of history to that one title. What do y'all think about the well, it wasn't really the ending to the show. I mean, all that happened after the show went off the air, but the package power driver, I love seeing that. John Deshaun says, "Hard to believe we are getting Gargano and Shelley." Yes, that's what I'm saying, man. It's kind of surreal. It's kind of surreal. I love that. It kind of gives me kind of like I don't know, man, like a Ring of Honor kind of feeling, or TNA kind of thing, or something you would see there. I mean, but it's kind of surreal. You're seeing it on WWE television. It's pretty cool. I mean, and they're all Triple H's boys. So I mean, Triple H has always supported them, which is I think this is the main reason why you're seeing a lot of these stars getting pushed that Vince never wanted was because they were Triple H's boys. He kind of brought them up. He kind of nurtured their careers as far as when they got to WWE. So without Triple H, I mean, the majority of who you see on television today probably wouldn't be working for WWE. Put it like that. Yeah, we got the ladies putting the tag team titles on the line tonight. That's gonna be a fun match. And it's going to be Naomi and Bianca, since Jade, of course, is not around. And then I think the mystery's still going on who did this to Jade. But I mean, I think at the end of it all, yeah, I think it'd be cool if it was Bianca the whole time. That'd be dope. Like the whole thing happened before the match that Bianca had, and then like what we saw was what Bianca did before her match, as far as like beating up Jade. That'd be kind of a cool way to twist it, kind of like a Triple H and Shawn Michaels kind of thing when they used to go at it back in the day. How it was, Shawn Michaels did this huge attack on not Shawn Michaels, Triple H did this huge attack on Shawn Michaels, and like over a span of weeks or so, it was like a who done it kind of mystery, and then finally Mick Foley's like, "You did it." I think it was Mick Foley that kind of no, it wasn't Mick Foley. That was Stone Cold. That's when Stone Cold got ran over. I'm thinking of two different situations, but anyway, but yeah, that's whenever all that happened. So you can kind of bring that back and throw that kind of element into the story. It'd be cool. Got Solo Sokoa coming out to the ring. That's what I'm saying. Like Raw, they want Roman Reigns bad. I mean, Netflix wants Roman Reigns bad to be on Raw. So the Jacob has been kind of a beast lately. And the thing is, I don't want him to hurt himself because he can. It's like I don't know. I just he can get like really into it, Jacob Fatu, and I don't want him to hurt himself because like he damn near broke his leg, and at war games he damn near broke his legs. So I just don't want the man to hurt himself. Just he's a phenomenal athlete. I'll say that. Kind of outshines Solo on them, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. People may feel differently, but I feel like Jacob kind of outshines them all. At least until Zilla and all them get into the picture. But I mean, Solo, his run, like the only major win that I think that he's gotten since he's made it to the main roster, of any note that he won clean was probably John Cena. I think it's probably I think that one of the only matches of merit that he won clean at least was probably when he beat John Cena. He won that fair and square clean. But it seems like his booking is like he's become like of course it's like he's a tribal chief cosplayer. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. As far as a story, but I feel like the way they book him, like he takes way too many losses. You know, I think he's taken like I don't know 50 something losses over the last. I think what since I can't. I'm trying to remember because I know because the only ones that stick out to me, the only wins that stick out to me is him and John Cena. And he won against Roman Reigns, but that wasn't really. I don't think that was clean. So, or his last bout with Roman Reigns, he won. The crowd wasn't him. I mean, come on now. That what chance got to go. To be honest with you, I mean, it's ran its course when the crowd starts saying what. It's too much now. I think that whole chance ran its course. If unless Stone Cold's in the house, I don't see any reason to do that anymore. That's just my opinion. Maybe a hot take for some fans out there, but I'm not a bit what guy. Not these days, at least. It's just annoying now. I've been actually thinking about getting me a OTC hoodie. Those are pretty dope. But one thing I will say is that as far as Solo's promos, they've gotten a lot better over the years. Because there was a time where he wasn't speaking at all, and then when he would get on the mic, it'll be kind of touch and go. But like here lately, he'll start playing to the crowd. He'll start playing into the booze and everything like that. And the thing is, he's become quite a comedian on the house show circuit. Really, you go to a house show, he's hilarious if you watch him there. You know, but I mean, he's gotten a lot better and gotten more comfortable. I think as far as being on the microphone, and I'll say that that's one cool thing or one good thing that I noticed about Solo's progression so far. And he's still like really young. So the dude has decades in him to go. I mean, look at he comes from good stock. It's all about the Ulo Fala. So I think Solo said irrelevancy wrong. He said ill. I think it's irrelevant. He said ill relevant. But I'm not a stickler. I'm not a stickler. I'm just saying that's probably going to be on Botchamania. What to say? Irrelevant or irrelevancy? That's ill. Okay, Solo's got me confused now. And I do love how this whole thing with Drew McIntyre is like Drew McIntyre versus everybody. I love that, because he- it's justified though. You know what I'm saying? He's not being an asshole for no reason. There's a method to his madness. He has a reason to be pissed off. And quite honestly, I love what they're doing with the Drew McIntyre now. Because look at it. I mean, he's involved with a handful of different stories right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's and it all has that common thread of him just being, you know, I guess you can say screwed over and all that stuff. But I mean, you look back at him, the stuff between him and CM Punk. Drew started all that shit. All Drew had to do was take his title and walk away. But no, he had to mess with CM Punk and lose his title in 10 seconds. And ever since then, Drew's been all Mr. Butthurt. But keep in mind, this is all Drew McIntyre's fault. Just keep that in mind. But at the same time, he has a gripe. He does have a gripe. He does have a leg to stand on. Not dismissing that at all. But just how we got here is just funny. I think you know. But I do love how Drew he is circling back to the bloodline because the bloodline did terrorize him. So he's coming back for blood. I can understand that. That's understandable completely. So I mean, if you think about it, I mean, as far as creative, they're getting Drew McIntyre involved in like five or like four, like three or four different things, or three or four different storylines you can just go into. You know, I mean, think about it. It- And of course, all roads are going to end up leading to Cody Rhodes eventually, or whoever the hell's holding the title whenever Drew gets back in that title picture. Because that's one thing that he's wanting back is that title. I think that's the main goal is to get back to that title and destroy everybody in between that time that got in the way of him having that title. I mean, as a writer, as somebody on creative, I mean that writes itself. And Drew McIntyre is just a dude to pull it off because he has a legitimate beef. I mean, if you watch the product, what he's saying isn't wrong. He has a reason to feel the way he does. He's not just being an asshole for no reason. And that's why I feel is giving him more, I guess, depth and giving Drew McIntyre as far as a character more, I guess, layers and dimensions. And he doesn't just he's not just somebody who just goes out there and just does bumps and all that stuff. I mean, he brings it down to a human level to where, like, hey, I spent time away from my family for this shit and all this, and I've been passed over and screwed and da 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 da. I mean, it makes total sense. And if you bring and if you're bringing more realism into it, I mean, it's brilliant. So if they continue this whole thing with Drew versus everybody, I mean, I want to see where they're going as far as WrestleMania plans. Oh damn, Jimmy clocked him with that crutch. That was a nice hit. He swung for the fences with that one. Yep, there's LA Knight. Guess we have our first match. 6-man tag team action. Just Andrade and Cruz with LA Knight versus the Bloodline. Okay, that's okay. That's cool. It's good to see Cruz on TV. Man, it's awesome to see Apollo on TV. To be honest with you, I forgot he was there for a little bit, and that's not a slight against him. They're not giving him much anything to do. He's great talent. They just don't have anything much for him to do. It's great that he's still there. That's awesome to see him getting some TV time. But I mean, I don't know. I think that with the with the right booking, I think this whole thing with Drew versus everybody is going to be pretty awesome. I want to see more of what they got in store for it. I'm in. You know, that's right, Deshaun. 6-man tag is next. We got LA Knight, Cruz, and Andrade versus the Bloodline. Great to see Apollo Cruz on TV. I gotta say. Deshaun asked, "What do you think about the direction?" Oh, excuse. Okay, now I see the. Okay, what do you think about the direction AEW is going up, man? To be honest with you, me and Connor have spoken about this, and a lot of us on the channel have spoken about this before. I think my problem is not with the talent. They have a great talent, probably some of the best talent in the world you can find, and within an alternate company other than WWE. But I think as far as like Tony Khan himself, I mean, I'm not really with his booking choices. I'm not really with that. I mean, he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong. He's outside of the whole booking thing. He's a cool guy. He's not one of these rich assholes that acts like he's better than anybody. He's actually a legit cool guy. He's a legit cool dude. But as far as being a being in charge of a wrestling company, as far as booking the storylines, I mean, it's not my cup of tea. Not he's not for me. You know, and don't get me wrong, there are things that I do enjoy going on in AEW. I'm not saying I've never been one of those people that says that, oh, it sucks. I never said anything like that. There's things to love about AEW right now. I feel like, if they can figure out what they're going to do with Tony Storm, that'll be nice. I mean, and this whole Hurt Syndicate thing, I'm trying to figure out where they're going with that. And MJF, and I mean, there's so many things, and I'm wondering where they're going with it and where Tony's going to take this. And like I said, I don't think it sucks. I think it can use some improvement, definitely. And I don't I haven't completely stopped watching it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I watch every single broadcast of it, because I mean it's hit or miss for me. And the thing is, I've had that going with WWE as well. It's not like I'm not singling AEW out at all, because I feel like every promotion that I'm into watching, I feel like there can be improvements in. Whenever I can catch TNA, I mean, sure, there can be improvements there still. There can be improvements in New Japan. There can be improvements, in a lot of indie companies that I'll watch. but I'm not gonna say oh it sucks because it's a they're growing businesses, they're growing companies, especially AEW. It's still it's not even it's still I wouldn't say it's infancy, but it's still a baby, or you could call it a toddler by now. But it's not a well-oiled machine like the WWE, so you can't really expect the kind of quality that you would see with WWE. I mean, knowing that, you mean that I think it's it can definitely need some it definitely stand some improvement. I'll say that, but I don't think it's a horrible product. I don't think it's a bad product. But there are a lot of WWE fans that will totally shit on the product, and I'm not going to be someone that shits on it just because I like to watch WWE. I'm a wrestling fan. I like it all. As long as it's good stuff, I'm going to watch. It doesn't matter whether it's TNA, New Japan, WWE, you know, ROH, what have you. It doesn't matter. As long as it's good wrestling, I'm going to watch. I'm not going to be tribalistic like a lot of these people in the internet wrestling community are so just tribalistic about it all. And I don't see why. It's freaking wrestling. It's stupid to be that, I guess, narrow minded about it all when it's it's just professional wrestling, you know. But that's just my opinion on that. We got LA Knight getting the ring, getting his offense in with Tama Tonga. But I mean, I feel like to me, if you have to be so toxic in the wrestling community, or in the internet wrestling community, if you have to be that toxic about it all, then just stop watching wrestling. Get out of the whole internet community. I mean, why put that bullshit on yourself if you don't like it? If you're gonna get on here and complain most of the time and bitch about something that you probably barely even watch, because that's what I noticed too. A lot of these people that bitch and complain within the internet wrestling community, they don't even watch the product. They watch clips on YouTube, or they find little clips on Twitter or something, and then they want to bring an argument to you, and it's stupid. And then the other half of them weren't even born in the era that they're talking about. That's the funny thing. I mean, I've had people tell me that Eddie Guerrero was not one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live. Meanwhile, the kid wasn't even alive during Eddie Guerrero's heyday, so he wouldn't even, it's stupid shit like that gets on my nerves about the internet wrestling community that I stay away from. When you have people that talk all this stuff and don't know anything about what they're talking about, they're just talking to talk and trolling their asses off. But I mean, but to me, I think if like I said, if you take the time to do all that stuff, then you need to do something else with your life. I feel if the ref got some order now, okay. Ref lost order for a second there. They're all hanging outside. Jacob going in there like a ball of fire, though. That was dope. That's what I'm saying. You can't stop Jacob once he's going full speed. That's just way too much weight going too fast. You can't do nothing about it. But I mean, back to your question, Deshaun. I mean, uh, you know, it's still watchable to me. I still enjoy watching AEW. I just feel like there's so many improvements that they need, and like it's still a young company. It's not a well-oiled machine. So I think probably 5 years down the line, we'll probably be speaking differently about it. Once it's got more, I guess, you know, once it's got more experience under its belt, as far as a company. And I mean, to me, I think that's all really it needs is it's people back there that know what they're doing as far as booking. Because I mean, this may be a hot take to people for some AEW fans, but I mean, and like I said, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy Tony Khan. He is a cool human being, but in essence, he's just a rich kid whose dad got him a wrestling company. He's like, "Hey, Dad, I want that." It's like, "All right, son, I'll get you that wrestling company." And and then the Young Bucks and all, and it was all just perfect timing. The Bucks wanted to do all that, and they had Tony Khan in the wings, and it's like, you know what, let's make it happen. And AEW was created. I mean, it was kind of it was really mutual, if anything. I mean, because the Young Bucks had the idea and everything, and then Tony was like, "Hey, Dad, I mean, they have this thing. They want to start a company. I want to start. Hey, give me the money to start this. Can we do this?" He's like, "Sure, here you go." I mean, so I mean, and to me, I feel like Tony Khan treats wrestling like his side chick. That's not his true love. You know, his soccer teams and the Jaguars, and those are his babies. Those are his true loves. The wrestling, that's a thing on the side that he sees. Roy, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Thanks for the sub. The show is actually going pretty good. It just started with a six-man tag. Got Apollo Cruz back on TV. Good to see. With Andrade and LA Knight going against the Bloodline. First match of the night. It's actually pretty good. Thanks for joining and thanks for the sub. Hope you're going to be joining us tomorrow evening when we're going to be on the air once again with the Pod Champs. We're going to be doing history of midget wrestling. That's going to be fun and interesting. And I personally am a huge fan of midget wrestling. And a lot of people see that as offensive, calling it that, but I didn't give it the name, and it's still called that to this day. So unless they change it to little people wrestling, I don't know what else to call it. And the thing is, I've never had a little person complain about it as far as like that to me, but yeah, there's actually there actually are a few promotions out there, a few indie wrestling promotions out there that are just little people, and it's really cool. Some micro wrestlers, I think. I think that's what they're called, the micro wrestlers. And then there's another company I know of that has some pretty cool talent out there as far as the little folk. But yeah, join us tomorrow night. We'll be doing the history of midget wrestling. That'll be fun. Here in the Wide World Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for subbing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, anyone out there watching, please do so. I mean, what are you doing? You're here chilling out with me. Why not? Why not sub? We can do this every week. Jacob 5-2 coming back in. That was a hard ass body slam right there to the Apollo. He just threw him right down. Oh, well, Apollo with his knees up. Got Jacob right in the back. Andrade coming in. If you had told me about a year or so ago that I was going to see Andrade and Jacob Fatu going at it in a WWE ring, I would have been like, shut the hell up. But it's awesome to see. That's cool. Oh, that was a close three. Almost a three right there. That was like a 2.99 right there. Jacob with the kick out. Andrade going upstairs. Oh, a double moonsault. Jacob kicks out. I love when he does that double moonsault. Lands on his feet and then does another moonsault. That's pretty cool. It's a nice move in his repertoire, as they say. I hope my earphones are still working. They just cut off on me for some reason. I'm gonna do an earphone check. Well, not an earphone, a headphone check. Hold on, let me see if my headphones still work. Great, my headphones aren't working. Okay, now I'm gonna be messing with my headphones on the air, so please excuse me. Yeah, Deshaun, this has been a pretty good match. It was better than I thought it would be, honestly speaking. Yeah, they're giving us some great time to breathe. And the thing is that, like I said, it's great to see Apollo back on the screen. I'm happy to see him getting some TV time. Anytime I see Apollo Cruz getting some TV time, it's great because for a while I forgot that Cruz was there. Like for real, I forgot. So it's great to see him. I'm still messing around with my headphones here, trying to get my audio straight. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully my mic is working straight, but I'm trying to fiddle with my headphones here. A little technical difficulties. All right, let me do some messing around here. Bear with me here, folks, working out my technical difficulty. All right, we're good. I am good. Had to get that straight. I don't know what the hell went on with my headphones, but they just cut off on me, and I couldn't hear anything when I cut them back on. But got that all fixed. The 5-star man's got this. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, this is a really good opener. I'm surprised that that it's given this much time. To be honest with you, but yeah, I am not disappointed at all. Start off the show with the Bloodline coming out and talking their yin yang and talking their shit and yik yakking and whatnot, and then LA Knight comes out along with Andrade and Apollo Cruz, and it gets the whole thing started. Not to mention, not to mention, I believe that was Jay. Yeah, I think it was Jay. Jay Uso comes out on the attack, and but yeah, pretty good opener. And yeah, it's been a good. Let's see, this match has gone on for a good 30 minutes already. Well, not really 30 minutes. I'd say it's a good 20 minutes. It's been going, but yeah, it's been a good time. Good timing with this match, and I enjoy that. As long as the match is good, you can give it a good 20. A good 20 minutes. I mean, nothing wrong with that. As long as it's a good match, I think. I don't see nothing wrong with a long match as long as you hit all the points, you hit all the beats. Thank you all for joining along with me this evening. Connor is out tonight doing a little something with the family for the holidays. Send him some season's greetings if you will. Subscribe if you haven't yet here. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet to our sister channel, our Elite Zone, please subscribe there as well. And in the next few weeks, I will be returning to Twitch with the Saturday Night Twitch presents Mr. Jacobs Plays. You can join me on Twitch as well on Saturday nights usually. Sometimes Sundays, depending on what happens on Saturday nights. If I'm busy on Saturday nights, I usually do it on Sundays. But yeah, subscribe to subscribe and follow to all those that I have named. All Elite Zone, the Wild World Wrestling Podcast here, of course, and Mr. Jacobs Plays on Twitch. And once again, join us tomorrow evening for the Pod Champs. We'll be talking about midget wrestling, the history of midget wrestling. It's going to be fun. So join us. LA Knight is on fire. The Elimination Chamber tickets are going on sale. Apollo Crews coming from the heavens. Oh, that was nice. Is that a D'Lo Brown frog splash too? Shout out to D'Lo Brown. Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura comes out of nowhere. What's his beef with him now? He didn't took his title. He didn't took LA Knight's title. What do you need with him now? I mean, for me, if I take your title, I mean, we're good. I mean, I got what I came for. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Solo. Ugh. I think Solo's about to hit Apollo with that spike. Oh, when he hits him. Like Bloodline gets this win in the various ways, but they get their win. And see, as far as the booking of Solo, like I said, I mean, to me personally, the only match that he won that really meant anything was when he beat John Cena, and he beat him clean. Other than that, he hasn't really won matches as far as clean of merit. I mean, if you really think about it, he hasn't really won any clean matches of merit. Every win that he's gotten has been dirty, or he hasn't won at all. So, but the way they're playing it, I mean, sure they're playing Solo as if he's this cosplay Roman Reigns, this cosplay Tribal Chief, and I get it, I get it. Got the Motor City Machine Guns backstage of Byron. Let's see what these men got to say. Oh, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, you can go to the All Elite Zone, which is our sister channel, and check out the Alex Shelley interview that we have there. Just look in the interview section of the All Elite Zone, and you'll find the interview with Alex Shelley that we did. It was pretty awesome. Got to learn a lot about him and about his time in the world of wrestling, and a lot of friends that he's made in the world of wrestling. But yeah, so subscribe there and check out the interviews that we got there in the All Elite Zone. Subscribe here, Wild Royal Wrestling Podcast, of course. But yeah, thanks for checking this. Check that. Well, thanks for watching along with me tonight. Like I said, Connor couldn't make it this evening, but he will be here tomorrow evening for the Pod Champs. Same bat channel, same bat time, same bat channel, as they say. But I mean, and then you look at what they're doing with the women as far as the crowning the first women's, United States champion with Chelsea Green winning it, which is I think was a pretty cool choice to make. I love Chelsea Green. We here in the World Wide Wrestling podcast on the World Wide Wrestling podcast channel. We are huge fans of Chelsea. Also on the World Wide, also not excuse me, All Elite Zone. We are huge fans of Chelsea Green, and me personally, I'm happy to see her be the first women's, United States champion. That's great. And now they got the internet. Now they got the women's IC title coming along, which I think is awesome too. The funny thing is, I forget which version or which edition of WWE 2K it was, but they had the women's Intercontinental Champion in that video game, and Bailey was the first champion of the first women's IC championship in the video game. I don't know. I'm thinking it was either 2K20 or 22. I'm not sure which one, but I want to say either one of those two because they didn't do a 2K21 because the 2K20 was so freaking bad they'd take a year off. But yeah. I think anybody who's played 2K20, they already know. They know what's going on. If you know, you know. When it comes to 2K20, that game sucked. Yeah, but that unpretty her that Chelsea hit on Me Chin, that was pretty cool off the top rope. That was pretty cool. I don't. They should put that in the game. I don't. If they put that in the game, I'd use that. That's pretty cool. And you gotta admit, Chelsea looks pretty cute in that damn belt. You gotta admit. Yeah, but the show is going good so far. Not bad at all. If you hear me kind of munching down a little bit, I'll try not to eat on the mic, but I haven't eaten all day, so if you hear me eating something, you'll know why. But thank you all for joining me this evening watching SmackDown. Always fun having you all along watching. For everyone out there in the chat, tell me what did you think about Saturday night's main event? How did you feel about the show and your reactions to the results? I want to know your opinions out there. How did you feel about it all? And what do you think about the upcoming elimination chamber? I mean, that's gonna be pretty. I think right now we're already kind of getting kind of a. I wouldn't say we don't have. I wouldn't say we have a clear picture of what's going to happen there, but I'm getting a few ideas myself. But you know, chime in. What do you guys think? Well, yeah, we had just moved on to a new platform. We had left StreamYard, and now we're on to Restream, and we're getting used to that, trying to get the hang of that, and working the kinks out and everything. But we're getting it. We're getting it. It's a new platform for us. Yeah, we're getting it. We're getting it. And for me personally, I have to. Like, cause I also have an account with StreamYard too that I'm gonna have to get rid of because I'm not paying all that money a month, you know, and they're not adding anything to it. I don't think so. Not for me. And like, me and Connor, we talked about that about how that's just ridiculous having to pay that much just to, and they're not adding nothing to it at all. They're just raising up the price, and I agree. I'm not paying that much I'm not paying all that money just to, and all I'm really doing is streaming and making videos on there. I'm not, it's insane. And you pay enough money to streaming services when it comes to Netflix and Hulu and YouTube TV. I mean, that's enough. Yeah, we also have the ladies in action tonight, tag team action. I think we're having the tag team titles on the line tonight. I think it's going to be Bianca and I think Naomi, and it's going to be substituting for Jade, going against I believe Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I believe so. I think for the titles, I believe. So that's been an interesting match because the ladies are having their titles on the line tonight. And then you have Alex Shelley versus Johnny Gargano, which is going to be a fire match. That's going to be something to watch. I believe that, yeah, I think they're doing a match. I'm not sure they're talking or having a match. I think they're having a match. Well, let me pull it up and make sure that, let's see. Yeah, they're having a match. So it will be Johnny Gargano versus Alex Shelley. And by the way, I've mentioned this earlier. If you would like to check out the interview that we did with Alex Shelley on our sister channel, the All Elite Zone, just go head over there after you watch this and check out the interview section in the All Elite Zone, and you will see the Alex Shelley interview. He's a pretty cool, humble dude, and it's a pretty awesome interview. One of our coolest interviews that we've done, and we did a lot of interviews over the years, and Alex Shelley is probably one of the coolest. But yeah, if you want to hear the Alex Shelley or see the Alex Shelley interview, just head over to our sister channel, the All Elite Zone. Subscribe while you're at it, and yeah, enjoy the interviews. We have plenty of them, with more to come over in the next year. Hopefully, we'll do some interviews here as well. But I know we have plenty lined up for the All Elite Zone. As far as what I think Connor has in store, we got some things cooking. We got some things cooking. I think what topped off the whole thing for me as far as the Saturday Night Main Event was when Cody came out with that belt. Man, that was it was beautiful to see that belt come back out. Because like I said, I mean, I've said this before. That was the belt. That was the design that they were using when I first started watching wrestling in the early '90s. So it's pretty nostalgic. It's very sentimental, I guess, seeing that. It's back whenever you woke up Saturday mornings and watched WWF Mania, you know, and then later on that afternoon you go to TBS at 6:05 and watch WCW Saturday Night. You know, you had a schedule for everything. Yeah, as far as wrestling, I had a whole schedule when I was a kid. Whole schedule, and it was a little bit before Monday Night Raw too, because I started watching them like before Raw, before they did started doing Monday Night Raw. And then once they started doing Raw, it was that was it. I could watch it on a weekly basis. That was episodic and had a stories to it. I mean, hell yeah, man. You can't understand why women love to watch stuff like Young and the Restless. When you watch wrestling, it's great storytelling. It's compelling. And the thing is, I had no idea that the ref could do a 3 count outside the ring as long as he had his arm in the ring. Well, I guess technically, I mean, he's in the ring. The ref is in the ring if he's doing the 3 count. So I mean, I just never knew that refs could do that. That they can make a 3 count outside the ring. But that's Debbie Nate. She can do what the hell he wants. It's Charles Robinson. I mean, he can. He's a legend. I mean, in the as far as refereeing, he took a hell of a bump that night too. Baby Nate, she was bumping all over the place that night. But yeah, I had no clue that a referee can make a 3 count outside the ring, and all he had to do was just put his hand in the ring. I had no clue that that was even a thing. I just assumed that the ref had to be in the ring with them to make the count. Just like if they're doing a false count anywhere, I would assume the referee would just count wherever he is. But I think like I always thought like as far as like in a regular match, the referee had to be in the ring. But guess that's something you learn something new every day. I just learned that. And I love they're bringing back the package pile driver and actually really selling it like it is a devastating move if you do it wrong. But I've heard a lot of wrestlers say that if you do it just the right way, it's one of the safest moves that you can take. If you do it right, but if you do it wrong, it's also the one of the most dangerous. It's kind of a double edged sword there. I mean, check out the way that belt looks in that light. In that light, though, when the light hits it, whenever when KO has it, when the light hits it, that looks beautiful. The winged eagle, and it's well lit. Whenever I like how it's lit because they took the time to kind of put the lighting over, kind of over Kevin a little bit, so the light kind of I guess you can say I guess shines down on the belt, and you can kind of see it kind of glimmer or shimmer, whatever you want to call it, but you kind of see it shine. And the way the eagle looks, or the winged eagle looks in that lighting is pretty cool. I'm gonna mark out over that belt all every time I see it because it's probably my favorite design ever when it comes to the titles or the world titles. It's probably the winged eagles like my number one design as far as like errors. And then and then you have like the leather the white leather old Intercontinental Championship title that Shawn Michaels and all them used to wear, and I think Cody brought it back for a while. That's one of my favorite designs too when it comes to belts. And eventually, I'm gonna have. Yeah, eventually, I want to once I get enough room to have a nice little collection. Because I have a belt right now, but I want to have like a little. I have. I want to start eventually a collection of title belts, and that's one of the titles that I want to get is the Winged Eagle. That's on the bucket list, honestly. Setting up for the Grayson. I was about to say Wason. Grayson Waller effect with the Braun Strowman. I'm trying to think. When was the last you heard of Braun? Was that when he was doing stuff for Bronson Reed? I think that's the last time I remember seeing him was whenever Bronson Reed messed him up. And the thing is, honestly speaking, I like Grayson Waller. I think he's pretty cool. I think he has a lot of moves that he does is stuff that I remember seeing uh, like it kind of reminds me a little bit of what I would watch in like Lucha Underground because there's some stuff in this move set that kind of remind me of the way luchadors move around and stuff. I would say that he's like a real high flyer like a luchador, but he brings that energy. Like at least to me, he kind of brings that energy of a luchador. He's just he's as agile as a luchador. I mean, to me, man, I don't know, man. Others may not see that, but I see that in Grayson Waller. The a little lucha influence. I see some Japanese influence with this move set. A little catch can. Once again, thank you for joining me this evening, watching SmackDown along with me. Connor couldn't be here this evening. He's doing some family things with the for the holidays with his family. So send him uh, good happy holidays, if you will. Well, he will be back tomorrow evening when we will have the pod chance back on the air, talking about the best, or not, I won't say the best, but we're talking about the history of midget wrestling. That's going to be the topic of tomorrow evening's pod champs. So be there with us. Same bad station, same bad time, or however they say it. I don't want to butcher that. Oh man, but yeah, it's always fun hanging out with you, watching some SmackDown. We got a lot of things planned for the future when it comes to this channel, and we got a lot of things planned for when it comes to the All Elite Zone. So yeah, just hang in there with us. We got a lot of cool things coming. So subscribe here if you haven't. Subscribe to the All Elite Zone if you haven't. And if you like, and if you want to, you can subscribe to my personal channel, Can't Stop Productions, Mr. Jacobs, of course. Just if you want to, you don't have to. It'd be cool if you did. But yeah, we are. Let's see, halfway through the show, and it's been a really good show so far. And we have next the Grayson Waller effect, and then we have also Johnny Gargano versus Alex Shelley. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the main event or not. I think the tag team titles, that's probably going to, the ladies are going to be doing the main event probably this evening. Riley, what's going on? Trick Williams might go to SmackDown if he loses against Obafemi. You know what? I would not mind seeing Trick on SmackDown. Honestly speaking, I think SmackDown would be a pretty good place for Trick Williams. If he does lose and they do decide to call him up, why not? I mean, SmackDown would be a great place for Trick Williams. You know, and I'm a huge Obafemi fan also. So, for me personally, I want to see Obafemi win. That's just because he's just one of my personal favorites right now. Obafemi's killing it. I'm just hoping that once he gets to the main roster, they treat him right. That's all. That's all I want. Is that once Obafemi gets to the main roster, just treat that man right. Give that man the push that he needs, but not too fast. Because I think there's been a lot of times where WWE's made that mistake about taking a superstar that was in NXT and pushing them to the moon super fast on the main roster, and then they fizzle out really fast. So I want them to take their time with that when it comes to Obafemi. I think they can create something magic. I think they can create magic with Obafemi if they do it right. And he can be, and he's young as well. I mentioned the same this about Solo. Obafemi is still young. He still has some years in him. So, like I said, I mean, if they do this right, I mean, you got yourself a superstar right there. He calls him Papa John. It's not my old man. I made a kid. The Chepo calls him Papa John. That's hilarious. I'm gonna go ahead and show this guy who Johnny freaking wrestling is. So this is what I'm gonna do. Kid's gonna get the business. And Ciampa's like, yeah, you do your thing, man. Go ahead. I love that old picture they used of Johnny and Alex. Look at them, man. Those teenagers right there. They're kids. Look at that picture. Wow, the trees are so lit up.